Take two, because my entire computer just shut down in the beginning of the first one. So, hey guys, welcome back. It's Paula with Paula's Imperfect Plans. Here we do all things finance. And today we are doing something a little bit different than kind of my normal schedule of stuff. But I was going through, or like a lot of budgeters I see here in the community, we pay our insurance premiums every 6 months. So you don't see actual amounts of what our insurance is. Ours happens to be auto and home that we pay every 6 months. But all we're talking about today is auto insurance. I don't have the homeowner's insurance renewal yet, but I'm always frustrated at the bill because it just seems like such a large amount, even though it is 6 months of premiums worth. And I entirely empathize with Steph from Steph's on a Budget, who says her car insurance is her least favorite bill to pay every month. So I, having never have filed a claim under my auto insurance ever in my, I've been driving for 20 years now, driving independently for 20 years now. And my husband has been driving independently for 21 years, and he has not had an auto insurance claim as an adult. He did get in a couple accidents as a teenager, but he has not as an adult. So it's frustrating to see it constantly go up. But this is the first time. So I was going through it when I got the renewal paperwork because I had to go through and make photocopies. I have to submit it to my work because I drive for work. It is a policy at our agency that they have to have on file my insurance information. I am required to have a certain level of coverage because if I do get in an auto accident, my auto insurance will be the primary on the incident, or however that works. It's never happened. Knock on something. And so anyway, I have to provide that every 6 months, and I can't claim mileage unless they have proof that I have the right amount of insurance coverage. So when I get it, even though it doesn't renew till May, I got it in the mail the other day. I try to scan it and send in the declarations pages showing which vehicles I have insured and the coverage that we have. Because if I don't do it now, I will certainly forget it, and I'll be getting notifications in May that my stuff is not, the insurance they have on file is no longer current, it's expired. So anyway, so I was doing that the other day, and I think this is the first time that I've ever actually looked at everything. I mean, I know what we have insured, but looked to see what the breakdown is. What are insurance premiums for all the different things that we have insured? I look at the total amount, which is $1,539.42 that's due in May, which, looking at it to me, is daunting and overwhelming, even though I know that I think with the paycheck that we get here in a couple days, I will have, now that I know the amount, I will have the auto insurance fully funded. I do still have to set aside money for our homeowner's insurance premium, which I don't have the bill for yet, but I'm anticipating $500. It was like $469, I think, when we renewed in November. So I will have 2 months to save that, which is more than enough time. So anyway, in conclusion, I decided that I was going to break it down and actually look at what vehicles have what premiums and what that means looking at it monthly. Because as I'm going through here and I'm dividing it up, and while it's overwhelming to see the whole amount, breaking it down made it feel a whole lot more reasonable, to be honest with you. So I'm going to switch over to the flat lay, and I'm going to break down those of that $1,539.42, what we have insured, what the 6-month premiums are, and what that would equate to monthly. So switch on over there. Okay, so as I explained just a second ago, I wanted to go through and kind of break down the insurance cost because it was something that always bothers me. I'm like, ugh, we pay so much. It feels like it's such a big bill. And then as I'm looking over it, and the fact that it's for 6 months and everything that we have insured, I'm like, well, maybe it's not. So this isn't the total situation that I have because I don't have the homeowner's insurance. It's 2 different policies. And so what I'm going over is just specifically auto. So for 6 months of auto insurance is $1,539.42. So when that breaks down, if I'm looking just everything as a whole per month, that is $256.57. So I did this math before, and now I find myself questioning my own stinking judgment, like, was I on par when I did that? Okay, so that is accurate. That is per 6 months for everything, auto insurance for everything that we have insured. So let's break it down. What goes into that? So the first thing on the list is we own a 2019 Chevy Silverado 2500. So, I mean, technically the farm owns it, but it's covered under, I mean, like we bought it for farm purposes. The farm paid for the majority of it, but it's still covered under our auto insurance. So when I looked to see what portion of the $1,539.42 was from the truck, the total was $515.68. If I break that down per month, that is $85.95. I would have just showed you guys the paper, but I thought if I did that and like ended up getting out my insurance papers, I would certainly accidentally show something I shouldn't show on here. As far as identifying your personal information. All of our, now I've got to question myself and see if that's accurate. I think there is like full coverage, collision coverage on, well, I know it's on all 3 vehicles. I don't know if it's on the other items for sure or not. I don't really typically pay attention to that, but that is first vehicle that's covered. My vehicle, I drive a 2013 Chevy Suburban. And I do know, because it's like noted in my policy, that it's like a commuter vehicle. So it says like commutes 20 miles plus to work each way. And like, while I technically don't commute 20 miles to work each day because my office is like right down the road, I drive for work. So it just seems appropriate to be honest with that. So I think there's some increase in coverage because of the amount of commuter, because of just the amount of drive, for the purpose that obviously if I'm driving that much more, I'm statistically more likely to have an accident, I imagine. So the amount every 6 months for that is $416.37. If I divide that by 6 to show what the premium is, what a monthly premium is, $16.40. So, $69.40 is what we're looking at there. I do know that if I paid this monthly, it would be higher. We get this discount because we get a discount because we pay every 6 months. We get a discount because with the company in general, we bundle our home and auto, and we have multiple autos and that kind of thing. So there's all that to take into account. But I just wanted to just look at the numbers. Okay, also on this, my husband's vehicle, his daily driver, is a 2014 Honda Odyssey. The 6-month premium for that is $403.19, and which puts a 1-month premium at $67.20. Okay, let's see. We have these two. Honestly, we don't even drive very much. I think he's planning on selling this. We have a 1996 Harley Davidson. I don't know the model number stuff. That doesn't mean much to me. For 6 months, that is $130.19. So that means that per month, that equates to $21.70. And the final thing here on our auto insurance is a 2017 is a Kawasaki Mule. If you don't know what that is, it's like I referred to as a side-by-side, a Gator, a Ranger. So they're all kind of the same prospect or the same like idea. And in fact, we call it like a Ranger or a Gator. We call it a Gator. My mom has a Ranger technically, and ours is a Mule. It's just different brands. And so Kawasaki's version is called a Mule. And I think they're pretty like, lovingly referred to as Gators across the, just in general, even though that is John Deere's model. Anyway, 2017 Kawasaki Mule, which again is mainly like farm use and farm purposed, but because we drive it and it is driven on the road, it has to be, you have to have auto insurance. So for that, every 6 months, we pay $73.99, which equates to a monthly premium of $12.33. So when I look at this, as frustrating as it is when I pay insurance, because insurance is just such a scam. My insurance has been going up for years and years, every year, and I've never once on any policy that I've been on ever made an auto insurance claim. That's not real wood, but that is. My husband hasn't since adulthood. He did wreck a couple cars as a teenager on his parents' insurance, but since then there have been, nothing of that variety. So it's easy to get frustrated and to get discouraged, because if I had enough, you have to pay for liability insurance anyway. But not sometimes, I know that I would be money ahead if I just saved that much money. Instead of paying it towards insurance premiums, if I just saved it, I wouldn't have to worry about vehicle damage. It's the liability coverage, obviously, which is required by state law, definitely here, I'm assuming everywhere, provided that there's an accident and medical coverage or medical care for injuries sustained in an accident for yourself and other people if you were at fault. But anyway, that's totally a side discussion, but I just, insurance is one of the things that stresses me the most. Like, Steph's on a Budget talks about, that's her least favorite bill. It is mine as well. And this really helped to put it into perspective. I was looking through this and breaking it down. And so I thought I'd come on here and share. So, feel free to like this video on the way out, comment if you have any questions, please subscribe and stick around for the next video, and I'll see you next time.